Time's arrow continuously marches forever forward. A beautifully melancholic statement that has never been more accurate upon the realisation that we are now well into September. 2023 has been a brilliant year for gaming, and there's still much yet to come, which is why now is the best time to look back at my favourite 5 games of the year so far, so let's get into it. Before I start, obviously very quickly saying this is just my opinion, and that's all. Here we go. Final Fantasy XVI was one of my most anticipated games of the entire year, and I do think it's got some glaring flaws, but I'll be damned if this game isn't fun as hell. The combat in this game just gives me life. There's so many abilities that I wish you could have more equipped at once. The world is very cool and deep, with a lot of political randomness going on in the background, and the story definitely has its strong moments. While the game suffers heavily from major, seemingly intentional pacing issues and does have wildly inconsistent side quest quality, I would be lying if I said the game wasn't a ton of fun at the same time. Amnesia the Bunker is one of the best horror games that I have ever played. My video on this is, in my opinion, one of my best, so I definitely recommend going and checking that out after this. You are trapped in a bunker with a monster at all times. A large portion of this game is procedurally generated in the sense that there's maybe 3 scripted encounters total, and almost all of the passwords and stuff you'll need are all completely randomised, so you can't just remember them for repeat playthroughs. You have to remain quiet throughout, or you will attract the attention of the beast. But if you take too long, you'll run out of power in the generator, which you need to fill up manually by collecting gas cans around the map. Meaning that if you do run out of gas, you'll be playing the game in complete darkness. Not only does this make it borderline impossible to accomplish anything, as you can't see, I'm really not exaggerating when I say complete darkness, you can't see anything, but also the monster is scared of light, so if there is no light, I'm sure you can infer what that means. You're kinda screwed. Carefully tiptoeing the line between strategic and efficient is the solid gameplay loop of the whole game. The insistent tension this game continuously spits at you is truly next level, and is undoubtedly one of the best experiences of the year so far. I'd been waiting for Oxenfree 2 for years. The first game is a very special experience to me, and the second game just eclipses it. Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals manages to tell its own story, whilst respecting and adding depth to the first one at the same time, in ways that I obviously won't spoil here. The art style is obviously beautiful, and the core theme of how to see the value in life is a strong one that's executed brilliantly, through both main characters and supporting ones. Night School Studios have created a living, breathing world here, brought to life through the lens of its 2 excellent lead characters, who are performed beautifully by brilliant performances from the voice actors. If you had no idea that this game was a thing, I would highly recommend you check it out if you think it looks cool to you. I would definitely suggest playing the first one beforehand, as that will make it all the more impactful, but at the same time, it's not necessary. This game just completely took me by surprise. Releasing early out of nowhere at the start of the year, 2023 got off to a bang with Hi-Fi Rush. A truly beautiful art style that brings every emotion of the phenomenal cast to life. The rhythm-based hack-and-slash combat is fantastic, and it dares you to master it. Hi-Fi Rush is the kind of game that reminds us all how fun video games can be, and it's a quintessential experience in 2023. Tango proved that they have the ability to create a top-class gaming experience, after dancing around that line with The Evil Within 2. My bias is going to be screaming through the roof here, as I'm an enormous fan of the original Resident Evil 4. I know, what a shocking opinion that is, but I still came to this with a somewhat critical mind. I didn't like the demo. I was worried about a fair few things, but then I played the full release, and it was everything I wanted and more. This is the best remake I have ever played. It's one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. Similarly to Hi-Fi Rush, it reminds us about what video games are supposed to be, but on the other side of the coin. The way Capcom managed to perfectly balance survival horror with action horror in this game is remarkable. It's a roller coaster of just horror greatness throughout. It's also the perfect length. It leaves you wanting a bit more without feeling like you've been hard done by, like Resident Evil 3, cough cough. The combat loop flows superbly in this game. The enemy variety is top notch, and the boss fights encompass everything that Resident Evil should be. It will take something very special to remove this from the top of my list come the end of the year. It's everything I wanted the remake to be. So those are my favourite 5 games of 2023 so far. What games have you been enjoying this year? Please let me know so I can try and check them out if I can find the time between the stacked roster of games we've got coming to us at the end of the year. But for now, that's all from me. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider leaving a like, as that would greatly help me out. And if you want to see more videos from me, then you could always subscribe, as I upload every single Monday. But that's all. Have a nice day, and goodbye.